Good afternoon. It's the next day. This is my trade review for yesterday. It was quite late after our mental toughness session, and I had to go to one of my shops today to cover for absence and sickness. So we're looking at the MES yesterday, which was Monday the 24th of July. So my day was a good day overall. I had one stop out, which was a very small stop out. I went short on this candle here. No, I'll take that back. I went short on this candle here because it entered the zone, and I had my stop loss above that candle, and it came down, and I was doing okay. And then I did think maybe this should have been a break and retest of my trend line, and so it came back out. It stopped me out. And then I reevaluated it, realised actually I don't want to be going short because we're in an uptrend and we're above all the moving averages, above the VWAP and above the trend line. So in the end I changed my bias. Instead of trying to take the short off of this red zone, I was watching the weekly and there's an hourly level there. I wanted to go with the trend but use the weekly as my out. So my trade in the end, I got in around here, which was I was expecting to see a bounce off that trend line like we saw here, but that didn't happen. And then so I got in at that zone, which is the tops of the pre-market, and then as we came down I had the bottoms of the pre-market and I layered in. I came down there, I think I got in there, and I saw this little bottom tail. It was a bit more pronounced on the 2 minute, and I got in there. So I think I may have also got in as it pulled back down again as well there for this higher low. We got the higher low. So basically then my plan was to take profit here on the zone and out at the at this weekly level, and I took profit as we came out of this, actually broke over this 5 minute candle. I was watching volume as well, and I saw the volume was increasing on these as we were pushing back up, so that was a good sign. So by the time I got out at this level, I had a couple of runners left. I think I had 3 runners left, and I did make an add. So I added as we came back, touched the trend line and come out, and my add location was the, I think it was actually, let's just close that, it was, I believe it was the break of that body there, and because it was above the 8 moving average as well, so it held this 8 moving average, didn't close below it. So I added, so I was in 4 contracts. I got out again up here because again we had this heavy volume, concentrated volume, pull back down, and then I took some profit up here. And then my last one was actually on the touch. I think it was the first touch. So I was fully out by the time I got to this stage here, and that was a good trade, really good trade. I went in a little bit too heavy down here, and I would have stopped myself out. I would have layered back out again, using this as a potential bounce area for maybe a reload, but I didn't need to because it held the bottom of this pre-market really well. It didn't even touch it, so it put in basically a higher low, and that's it. And as you can see, it ran up for the rest of the day. So that's my trade for yesterday, really good day. So now looking at today, look at this. This is the pre-market, the Asian and UK market, and we had more volatility today and beautiful setup than we did. Look at the difference. So we had, look at these all top and bottom tails. It's a horrible market yesterday, really horrible and messy, and there's no decision on which direction you want to go. Basically a sideways. It's an inside day as well. And then look at today's pre-market. You can't get any cleaner than that. That's lovely. So we had this lovely head and shoulders pattern setting up, and we got the neckline, which is about here, and that could have been a good trade there, breakdown of the neckline, and you could have taken as it pulled back onto the VWAP as a break and retest on the neckline. But I've only just got back in, and I didn't even look at the charts at all morning. So today's bias, considering now below, yesterday we were above this 200 moving average on the 5. We're now below the 200. We're below all the moving averages, so possibly a short bias today. Let's have a look at the hourly. So the hourly, we're still above the 50, and you can see this 50's curved up a little bit. So maybe so I can't really say we're in a short bias just yet, because we need to break down. So we're still above this trend line. So what we may see today is we've broken over the trend line, pulled back and touched this trend line. Look at that, lovely, right on the level, right on the 20 moving average, right on the trend line. So that we're in a great place to go long, even though it's the end of the day yesterday. We've got this double top as well, so potentially we could come down to that level, which is 45.76 for a bounce, or we could test the trend line 45.65 area for a bounce. And if you look, hopefully we'll have this 200 moving average merging with this level here, 45.65, also merges in with this trend line as well. So they say when you want all the stars to align, this is a point. So this should be a nice bounce area. So on the watch today for a layering in full size position, 45, 65 and 75. So 45, 66 really, that area. So that's what we're watching for. We want to see a nice sell off maybe on the open, and then we've got this area we could use as a stop as well, 45, 60. So that's like a $5 stop loss. So that's potential. And we've got obviously got this bounce area here. So we've got 45.60, 45.66 area, 45.64, and we could do a scalp bounce, 45.76.50. This area has proven to be a significant area. We came down, we hovered around that area before we broke down. We came up, retested it, broke through, broke back down, retested it again. Couldn't quite stay too much above that level and broke down. And then yesterday in the pre-market, we came back up, touched this area again, and then we broke through, come back down, we touched the area again and the trend line and bounced up. So it's highly likely we're going to see another bounce, especially where the 50 is there as well. So two areas we're watching, 45.76.50 for a bounce, 45.65.75 for a bounce. These two areas. If we see a big sell-off, we could potentially watch 45.60, maybe 45.57, this pivot here. But obviously we still got this area I've been watching for some time now, 45.45. So this is the main area I really want it to come down to. And this will be a layering I want to get in as we enter the zone, as we get halfway, or probably it'll be the bottom of those two candles. So it'll be about here, 45.48, and then as we then get to the bottom, so just draw it on a straight line so we can see it. So I want to get in on the bottom of the bodies of the candle. I want to get in on the entry just there, and I want to probably have a double size there with a stop loss probably just a little bit below. And then as we come back out, I want to see it come in, maybe touch there, push through, nice little bottom tail, come back out, and I may even use these levels again to add on the way back out, or look for a break and retest. So basically I want to load up 5 times, 3 going in, 2 coming out. That's my aim. I think that's it for rejections. Obviously we've got this double top, which is a significant area, the head and shoulders pattern, the tops of the shoulders. We've got that area there. It's proven to be a resistance area. In fact, it's only been resistance area. We couldn't get put through it. Last week we tried twice. Almost made it to the weekly level a couple of days ago. Couldn't get through yesterday, and in the pre-market or last night we couldn't get through it again. So this is proven to be a resistance area, but how long will it hold the resistance? Next time it could be a breakthrough. So we'll watch this and we'll get in with confirmation. So what I'm looking for would be a top and tail candle like that. So going up, top and tail, and then volume, higher volume, and then I want to see increasing volume as we're selling off, coming down. That's what I'm looking for. And that's about it. If we have a break and retest, comes up, break and retest that area, then it will go through on steady volume. We might have high volume candle for the breakout, and we'll just wait for the pullback. That's a better play rather than playing the breakout, because we've got confirmation. and the confirmation is as we break out, the volume as it pulls back down again should be decreasing, and that typically means that we haven't got the sellers there pushing it back down. Their power's waning, and then we get a big push back up on the next break, and we'll watch it go up. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So rejection levels 45.92, 45.93 area, and then we've got 45.88. This is that weekly level, which is, we've got a little bit of leeway. We've got this area, so 45.88, 45.89 to 45.93. So that $4 or $5 area to keep an eye on. And obviously, if we come back up to this level, 46.05, 4600 as well is a potential area, and then we've got the highs at 4610, well 4609.50, around that area. So, but I'm really going to be focused on, I'm going to be watching this area, definitely 45.65 area, possibly a bounce at 45.76 long. So my bias is going to be long today. And the saying, we're in the uptrend until we're not. And let's look at the daily before we go. So we have broken that trend line. So we've broken the flag. We're in the uptrend, and so we've broken this flag here. So this is a potential flag we've broken. So we've broken out. We could see a break back down and retest. Hence why I'm watching this area. And we've got an area of support around there as well, and this support goes back 1.5 years, so it's still in play, and this red zone goes back 1.5 years as well. So we've got some good potential long trades to watch for, and I think that's my bias long. And when will we break that uptrend? Depends on how you look at it. Hang on. Look at the weekly. So here you go, the weekly gives you the better picture. So we join them together. So we need to break through 45.50 really before we actually break this trend down. So 45.50, which happens to be that area we're watching, if we break that area, then we could see a movement down. But I think on watch today is a long up to 46.31. That's potentially where we're heading. So up to about here, I reckon. And then we've got this all-time high, 47.04. I think that's the all-time high. So we could just travel up this trend line and then see a breakdown over the next month. Look at that, August, September, October down here. So we've still got a long way to go. So let's just play the market day by day. Anyway, have a good day trading, and I will speak to some of you today.